was a whole lot better, wasn't it, Richie?
It was a very good second half, far better, more entertaining, more open than the first half. A huge amount of that was down to the change in the substitutions that Wales made at half-time, the slight change in attitude of the wing-backs. They were pushed forward. All-round attitude was far better. Their quality in the ball was better. Their sense of purpose and urgency was better. And they probably will walk off that pitch a little bit disappointed that they couldn't find a winner in the last 10 minutes because they were the team that looked more likely to do so. But really, really well-deserved draw.
Makes those games on Friday that we're looking at, they have that even more excitement to them now.
Yeah, I think so. I think obviously Wales came out after half-time. I'm sure Rob Page had a good talking to them. They had nothing to lose. They opened up a bit more and it was an end-to-end game of football. And right up until the end we thought we seen Gareth Bale's naming lights. But look, all around, I think the USA kind of died out of the game. I think they lost their shape a little bit. They couldn't maintain their high pressing. And they'll be happy they got a draw.
I think we were about 5 minutes into the second half and you just said it's like a world away from the Wales team we saw in the first half. It was just a different team we were all watching.
Yeah, I think so. I think the key to that was Robertson Williams getting a lot higher, Kiefer Moore having that target player. It looked like the weight of the world just lifted off their shoulders. Maybe they were very nervous and anxious in the first half, and it made for a good game of football, and I think it probably keeps both of them in the running now to get that second place in the group.
I think obviously being a goal down, they knew they had to change focus. Like in the first half they were very good, in fairness, at staying as compact as possible at the back, defending in numbers, denying America space relatively well, like relatively successfully. There was only one opportunity that they opened up and they scored from, but you can't do that second half if you're going to chase for an equaliser. They were more open. If America had a bit more quality, a bit more composure, there were times in the second half where they could have created chances themselves, but very, very different performance by Wales. And Kiefer Moore being up there, like we know what he is. He's a kind of blunt enough instrument at times, but he's got a lot of strengths, specific strengths that he brings to the team, and he was a handful.
He was a handful, and he was a handful from the very start, and that's probably one of the big reasons why Wales did look so different.
Yeah, I think Wales reaped the rewards of their more progressive play, and just obviously balling from Wilson. Kiefer Moore was there and Turner comes out, and that was the first thing he really had to do all game. Again, great delivery into the box, and this time it's headed back in and it's Davies that manages to get his head on it, and it's a great save by Turner just to hit off bar. Again, delivery in by Wilson, and he was there again, Kiefer Moore, and he was unlucky not to put one of them away. Yes, so he was a real positive force and attacking threat as well, and this one as well is just the long ball up and it's chased down. This is Kiefer Moore again, and a lovely bit of skill. And this is Johnson, who just came on as a substitute as well and shows his electric pace and gets through and goal. And I think Bale was trying to catch him and create an angle in the box. So look, lots and lots of chances, and this is right up to the last moment. I don't know what Turner's doing getting out of his ball, and this is Bale, and you think he's going to dink it in, and a great foul by Costa, and I think Richie highlighted when we were watching.
A great foul. It's cheating, is it not?
It's a very effective use of the rules. It's far better in that scenario to concede a free kick than to allow someone like...
Isn't that a goal-scoring opportunity? Are we not talking red card there?
I don't think it's, what's the wording, an obvious goal-scoring opportunity. It's an opportunity to shoot, but near enough from the halfway line with numerous players between you and the goal. A huge amount of skill and accuracy, and lots of things have to be done by the player on the ball. In fairness, Gareth Bale is one of the few players in the world who could do it. If you're asking, should it be a red for that? No. Not at all.
OK, well, Gareth Bale, we said he didn't have one of his better days. He's been very, very rusty. But if you look at the lead up to this World Cup, 2 playoff games, he scored all of Wales's goals. He wins the penalty tonight and he scores the penalty.
Yeah, look, it was a quick throw in. Like, we're doing a lot of comparison between the Wales of the second half and Wales of the first half. Wales did nothing quick in the first half, so it was a shift in approach here. Really clumsy tackle here by Zimmerman. Obviously, the ref is right in front of him. VAR would have backed him up anyway had he missed it. And at this moment, we're thinking, right, for a fellow who hadn't had his best game, what do you always say about Gareth Bale? It doesn't matter how in or out of a game he is, he'll come up with a key moment when it matters. He's done it countless times before.
This is different, though. This is the World Cup.
This is it. But again, delivers, and you can see the relief, the emotion, all the talk of 64 years all wrapped up in those pictures there.
Oh, the pictures at the end and the celebrations from Gareth Bale, from all of the Welsh fans when that equaliser went in, they were something else. But it's a good result for the United States as well, a good result for Wales. This group is so open still, except perhaps for Iran, of course, who were absolutely hammered by England earlier on today. Additional time could well be a trend in this World Cup, because we saw it in the England-Iran game earlier on today, albeit they did have lengthy injuries, but not so much in the second half when there's still 10 minutes added on. So that might be something to look out for. He looked actually a relieved man there, did Gareth Bale. Do they need to go out and really attack Iran from the off on Friday? And are they actually a team capable of doing that?
Look, I think they'll take a lot of positives from that second half tonight, and I think they'll have to go out with that same attitude. They'll have to get their wing-backs higher if they're going to stay in the 3-4-3 formation. They'll have to show that same belief on the ball that they had in that second half too, and I think they'll get a positive result against Iran. Sometimes it can be harder for a team like Wales that are used to sitting in deep, like we've seen them getting results against Belgium in the Nations League, and they kind of thrive on that and that kind of passion and that pride, and dig deep into their character. So it'll be intriguing to see how they line up.
It's about getting the balance right, isn't it? I mean, they defended really relatively well in the first half and were difficult to break down. But players didn't show for the ball for teammates. Players up front didn't hang on to the ball when they got it. And any kind of moments of quality that were needed, they just were left wanting. So it's to kind of bring it all together, which they can do, and they showed they can do in the second half.
And I think in moments in transition, especially in the second half against a better quality side, I think the US tired that they will be punished.
Exactly.
Yeah, and the US do have a better quality side coming up, arguably, you might say. They've got England up next as well in Group B, so that group is a really, really interesting one. For the first time, or even close to it, the Wales captain Gareth Bale pulls his team out of the fire and back from the brink to secure a 1-1 draw, this time at World Cup level. But you may have noticed that Gareth Bale did not have a rainbow armband on, the One Love. That is because, despite the fact that he, as well as captains of 6 other European nations, despite the fact they had said they were going to wear this despite FIFA threatening them with sanctions, new sanctions were threatened only last night. So we'll just have a little look, first of all, at the rules. So FIFA had suggested that perhaps players may end up getting a yellow card. So we searched through what is written in the laws under the International Football Association Board, who are called the independent guardians of the football rules of association football. So there's lots and lots of in these laws. But if you look at the very end of this part of it, because you have to go all the way to the end of this section, and it says, any organisation whose aims, actions are likely to offend a notable number of people can come under this section. You then have to actually hit on frequently asked questions to find out what the sanction might be before you find out what the fact that it could actually be a yellow card, because there's lots of talk of the fact that there is no precedence for this, but it is actually in those laws. Now, have a look at this from Bernd Neuendorf, who is the German FA president. Very hard-hitting statement from them. There could be a talk that perhaps it's a power play between UEFA and FIFA. But again, lots of interesting things for him, particularly at the end there. He talks about the timing of their intervention, which he says seems deliberate. Your thought on this? We've been talking a lot about Qatar, about their rules, about the cultural side of things, but FIFA are the ones who run these competitions.
Well, we're led to believe they are. I don't know what the influence of the hosts is in this matter, but FIFA have claimed repeatedly, Infantino in the last week, in his buffoonery and ridiculous, comically bad speech the other day, talked about promoting the idea of inclusion and non-discrimination and openness, and FIFA are devils for using phrases like football for all. In the build-up to this World Cup, we were told the world would be welcomed to this part of the world and it would be a big festival of football. So there's a lot of window dressing going on about what this event claims to be about and what the values of this tournament are. So then you park all that and you see the actual values of this tournament seem to be like it's an affront to this tournament to wear an armband promoting equality and inclusivity and tolerance. Like it's a harmless jet. There's no slogans, no names are named, no countries are called out. It's a message of inclusivity, the very thing FIFA claimed that the World Cup is about. So it's further evidence that not only are FIFA completely hypocritical and will say the first thing that comes to the head and don't deliver out when it matters, but it puts a further stench to this event that messages like that are not only banned, but they punish people who try to bring it into the pitch.
But footballers did still have the choice. It just meant there was a chance that they may end up with a yellow card. Look, you're heading to a World Cup. Hopefully you're going to be part of the Ireland squad. So, but as a gay woman as well, are you disappointed that players didn't say, look, I'll take it? And yes, it's a huge thing to do because, as Richie pointed out, if Gareth Bale got booked tonight, so that's 2 yellows for him and he's gone.
Look, I think it's frustrating, and I think it's frustrating to look on for everyone, just as much as the associations are frustrated. I think the German president came out with a very strong statement on it. I think the football associations are trying to remove that decision from the players. Obviously, Harry Kane goes out tonight, gets a yellow card, 2 yellow cards.
Or Gareth Bale, yeah.
Or Gareth Bale, yeah. It's just earlier today, and they get they get a red card and they miss the next game. That puts the hopes of the nations, especially in the Wales situation. 64 years of waiting in the World Cup. If he misses the next game,
is it worth it for the bigger picture?
My thing on is it. Thankfully, we're going to Australia, and it's not a situation. I don't think Qatar would have bidded to host the Women's World Cup.
Well, it's FIFA who've made the rules. It's not Qatar who've made the rules, allegedly.
Well, I think Qatar have a say. And
I understand the question, and a lot of comments today were on the captains. First of all, the FAs took the decision from the players, but let's say they didn't. I just don't like that the focus is here questioning the conviction and the integrity of footballers, because FIFA have deemed that this message of inclusivity has no place in this World Cup. It's crap.
OK, unfortunately, we have run out of time. We will absolutely speak about this and plenty more as the day goes on, and also a word for the Iranian footballers, because certainly nobody could accuse them of lacking in bravery after their refusal to sing their own national anthem today in support of those protesters in their home country.